there, my name is Sydney Fry. I'm the nutrition editor with Cooking Light magazine, and today we are making the ultimate summer side dish, broccoli salad. It's also a bit of a makeover from the classic. It will be perfect this weekend for Memorial Day if you are headed out of town or in town and having people over and cooking out. So we'll go ahead and get started, and I'm going to chop up a red onion. We just need a 1/4 cup, and what we're gonna do is soak it in a little bit of cold water. That will take the, you know how raw red onion can kind of have a bit of a bitter edge. It can be very sharp. So we're gonna soak it in some cold water to sort of take some of that sharpness off while we're prepping the rest of our salad. The salad comes together really, really quickly. And as we kind of go through it, I'll tell you how we're making the recipe over from the classic. So the classic recipe is basically all about the mayonnaise. It's got a mayonnaise dressing, and it's got sugar in it and salt, and it's delicious, but it can have close to 300 calories per serving. And our salad today has 100 calories and a half cup, and it's delicious. And it's easy to pull together. All right, so we've got our red onion that we're gonna go ahead and soak in some cold water while we get everything else together. And it really only needs to soak for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just kind of whatever time you have. And while that soaks, we'll get going with the rest of it. So we're gonna make our dressing. And we've got 1/3 cup of canola mayonnaise. It's got a heart-healthy fat base, and kind of, you need a little bit of mayonnaise in this recipe because that's what the original really is based on. And then we're cutting some of the calories with Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt is also high in protein, and it's got some calcium in it, and it's much lower in calories and even fat than mayonnaise, and it's just a perfect complement and adds kind of a tangy tart to the recipe. There's 3 tablespoons of that. We've got a tablespoon of cider vinegar. It'll go in. And 1 tablespoon of honey. The classic recipe has 4 times this amount. It's got about a 1/4 cup of sugar and makes it very sweet, which is why so many people love it. But this adds the perfect sweet balance to our recipe. So we're gonna add some honey.
So our users who are just joining us are asking about the cold water technique with the onions. Why'd you do that again?
So if you soak raw red onion in cold water for anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, it takes the bitter edge off. There's sulfur compounds in red onion that when you chop it up and let it soak for a few minutes, they kind of dissipate out into the water, and it actually makes your raw onion less sharp. So it works on burgers and salads, anywhere you'd want a red onion that sometimes, you know, it just can be very bitter and sharp. This will take the edge off. So you can do this in anything, sandwiches, salads, it works perfectly. So we've got a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon freshly ground black pepper. And that is all that goes into our dressing. So we'll whisk that up.
While you're whisking that up, we have some users talking about the mayo.
Yes.
And we have this question a lot of Cooking Light, right? So why do we use mayo?
We use mayo here. So mayonnaise is, basically what it is it's an emulsion. It's oil and egg. It's not high in saturated fat, but it is high in calories. But it adds that creamy flavor, and it's tangy, and it's smooth. And we cut it with the Greek yogurt to lighten it here. You could certainly use all Greek yogurt, but it's gonna have a different flavor, and it's gonna be a bit more sharp than the mayonnaise. So we kind of do a half and half version here. Okay, so we've got our dressing ready, and basically what we're gonna do now is add the rest of our ingredients. We've got 4 cups of chopped broccoli that are gonna go in. And we sort of try to make this recipe more about the broccoli. And I've cut some stalks up in there too. Personally, I love thinly slicing the stalk. A lot of people like to throw them away. We kind of try to cut back on waste and use as much of it as we can. You can throw the leaves in there. And the wonderful part, my favorite part about this salad, is it's actually better made in advance. It's better when it sits for about 12 to 24 hours. It's delicious as is when you taste it, but if it sits overnight, the dressing will soften up the broccoli a little bit, and all of the flavors can kind of meld together and work beautifully together. And it's just it's the best make ahead. So we're basically just going to dump everything else in there. We've got, these are low sugar sweetened dried cranberries. They come in a lower sugar form. You can buy them regular. Cranberries are very tart and they need a little bit of sugar. Otherwise, pretty much all of them that you buy on the market have a little bit of sugar added to them. These are lower sugar. You can use dried cherries, you can use dried raisins, and this time of year, you can use grapes, you can use fresh cherries. They're a lot less expensive this time of year. Then we've got some slivered almonds that we've toasted in the oven for a little bit. A little bit of crumbled bacon. We use center cut. It tends to be leaner. The good thing about bacon is you can they usually have window panes and you can look at it and see if there's a lot of marbling or if it's leaner, and go for the ones that have more of the meat in it. We use 4 slices of center cut. The classic recipe has half a pound of bacon in it, so we cut back on that. And we're gonna mix that together, and then I'm gonna drain our red onion that has been soaking. And see how that just coats the broccoli nicely. And we're gonna drain our onion. But all of the combination of textures here, it's just a great classic dish. It's full of vegetables, it's got nuts, and really the classic version, the dressing is just so heavy that it kind of counteracts all the good things you're putting in there. So this one really lightens it up. It's got 100 calories per serving. For those of you just joining in, we've been lightening up some broccoli salad for either this weekend, Memorial Day, or just summer to keep around. It's a great make ahead, and it sits well in the fridge for a couple of days. You can make a big batch of it on Sunday and take some of it to work with you. The kids, this is actually a very kid-friendly dish. It's a little bit sweeter. It's got the honey in it. It's got the salt. It's got the bacon, the crunchy nuts, the tart cranberries. So it's a good texture flavor combination. We're gonna drain our red onion real quick. You can also pickle these. Pickled red onions are a great addition to the salad. It's pickling, basically pour it in some vinegar and a little bit of salt and sugar, and you can let them soak in that too, but we'll just keep these raw. Just about a 1/4 cup in there. See all the colors? This really is the most simple, easy, fun dish. And as I mentioned, you can change it up. You can add raisins instead of craisins. You can add dried cherries. Any dried fruit will work here. Any fresh fruit. You can add in some fresh apples, fresh cherries. Even blueberries would work in here and be perfect for Memorial Day.
Oh, that sounds good.
You can change it up. But the dressing is light and refreshing, and the classic has close to 300 calories per serving. This one's got 100, and it's a fun, perfect, refreshing side salad for your summer, for your Memorial Day, for your lake weekends, beach, or even just at home, propping your feet up on the couch. It's healthy, it's fresh, and it goes with pretty much everything, and everyone pretty much does it. And that's your cranberry almond broccoli salad, and is featured in our Amazing Recipe Makeovers cookbook that is now out. You can find it in bookstores, online, and the whole book is all about recipe makeovers. So it's fun, it's fresh, it's bright, it's light, and it's taking classic recipes like this broccoli salad and lightening it up into a delicious meal or dish or side dish that is perfect for your family. So thank you so much for tuning in.